And for more, we are bringing in Niall Stanage, White House columnist at thehill.com. Niall, thanks for joining us on this Sunday.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
So we know you've been closely monitoring Trump's hush money trial in New York. We see Michael Cohen set to take the stand tomorrow. Are we going to see the same type of fireworks that we saw between Stormy Daniels and Trump's attorneys?
Yes, I think we are. I mean, obviously, in Stormy Daniels' case, the details were rather more lurid, whereas with Michael Cohen, he's going to be testifying about his dealings with the former president during the time he was his attorney and fixer. But clearly, we are going to see the Trump team go very hard at Michael Cohen's credibility. They do have quite a lot to work with there for the reasons that Caitlin pointed out in her report. He did serve jail time. He is a convicted felon. So obviously that gives you plenty of material. In saying all that, Natasha, of course, it's not unusual for witnesses in criminal trials to have their own checkered histories.
Yeah, and we know the prosecution will be jumping on Cohen's claims about being Trump's fixer. What will the defense be trying to do during Cohen's time on the stand?
Oh, the defense for Mr. Trump will be trying to undercut his credibility. That is the whole point as far as they are concerned. The other issue is that the Trump team is seeking to portray these payments as legitimate payment of legal expenses. There's a lot of grey area in this case. It's one of the reasons why even people unsympathetic to Trump see this as the weakest of the four criminal cases against him. He could still be convicted, but there's a lot of room for maneuver for the defense team.
You know, I want to turn to the campaign trail. The very latest NewsNation Decision Desk HQ poll shows how important inflation and the economy is for voters. It is top of mind. And Trump this weekend making some big promises about tax cuts. But Niall, do we have a sense of whether working class Americans, an average American, is better off when it comes to taxes under Biden or Trump?
Well, the issue there is that the current president still wants to change the tax law further when these Trump tax cuts elapse. Now, in the case of Mr. Trump's tax cuts, there has been some reduction in working Americans' tax bill, but that, according to researchers earlier this year, has been a much slighter reduction than was originally promised. On average, and this is very complicated, on average it's been around $600 or $700 a year, as opposed to the promise that it was going to reduce the tax bill by thousands of dollars.
Okay, that's really interesting. Thank you. And finally, I do want to turn to the border. Of course, another big issue this election season. We know this week a group of Democrats sent a letter to President Biden to take serious measures on the border. One of those lawmakers actually spoke to the Hill Sunday today to explain that move. Let's take a quick listen together.
There was a deal to do that in the Senate. It was Donald Trump who told Speaker Johnson to not take up that deal. And because of that, there has been inaction. So while Democrats are ready to work, including President Biden, on this issue, the Republicans have walked away. And so what our letter simply calls for is for the president to pursue all necessary executive action that he is authorized to do.
Niall, will this call from fellow Democrats be enough to push Biden to executive action here?
I don't think so, honestly, because the letter is rather vague in exactly what they want him to do. That's the problem. Immigration is a massively complicated issue, and we don't have time to go into the ins and outs of it here. But the point is, it's a weak political issue for President Biden and the Democrats. Frankly, I see this letter as much more of an effort by people in competitive states or districts to distance themselves from the president, rather than them really suggesting what exactly should be done on this.
That context so important. Niall Stanage, thank you as always. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.